Hey everybody, I'm down here in the Villages, Florida, 55 and over retirement community. I've got another home tour for you today with a little bit of a twist. It's actually from 4.5 years ago, and it's my home when I first moved in. I'd completely forgot about it. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson down here in the Villages, Florida, 55 and over premier retirement community. And if you don't know anything about the Villages, there is nothing, zero like it, like anywhere in the United States, I don't think in the world. And I love living down here. And let me ask you to please, I know I say this, but please subscribe and like and put comments down in the comments section because they really help the channel out a lot. When you just say where you're from or whatever, that helps out a lot too. If you have questions or your experiences, put them down there because that's the whole idea behind this channel is to help other people out that are thinking about moving down here or live down here. Anyway, as some of you know, I've been doing these home tours and thank you so much to the people that have contacted me to do these because they work out for everybody, myself on the channel and you and the people in the Villages. But right after they close on the house, about like that hour afterwards, while everything's fresh in their mind, I run in and we have some fun and do a walkthrough of their house. Now, they're also thinking about, I know what's going to happen, but they tell about some of their experiences usually, and then give us a tour of their house. And I've actually created a whole playlist of these. I'll have it at the very end. And I have a bunch more, so make sure you're subscribed because a lot of people are going to kind of come tell their story. But for the people that are doing it, man, it's really a nice thing to have because you created this thing that's going to live on YouTube and you can show your family where you've moved to, your home that you just moved into, before everything starts to happen and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun for everybody. Anyway, this is kind of a fun one because this is a flashback in time. Somebody said to me, hey, didn't you do a walkthrough of your house at one time? And I thought, yeah. And so I went back and I checked and the models are actually the same. It's a Winslow. It's 1,826 28 square feet, something like that, livable, with an extra garage in it, and it's on the water. So at that time, when you purchased the home that was sat on the water, this was a pre-built home, but they upgraded everything in the home. So the lot bump is what they call it. To live on water it's a single bump. So they refer to things when you're buying a home. In other words, living on a golf course is a bump. Living on a golf course that has water is two bumps. So it's that type of thing. Anyway, so mine was a $70,000, if you look up the price of the lot, $70,000 value to the lot. But with that kind of came upgrades to the house and stuff like that. So you'll see the floor, the countertops, and stuff like that are all upgraded automatically. I didn't have a choice in it, as you'll see. Now, I've cut a lot out of the video because I explained a whole bunch of stuff, things I went through about the house and stuff like that beforehand, which really isn't pertinent to this. But the walkthrough of the house is there, and you'll see a couple of people, you may realize their face. They were there to greet me when I was living off of a card table in the house with nothing but basically a TV. I had just received some of my furniture, so also take note of the fact of how much was accomplished in a year. Think about that right away because you're going to see that immediately. So I'm going to jump right into this. Once again, please subscribe and like. I'll put right down below how you can contact me if you want to do that through the Facebook. You don't have to be my friend to do it. You can just message me and we'll continue the conversation there. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me. I'm going to let this run out so you're going to see the same ending I had in there 4 years ago. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this. Here I go from 4.5 years ago. October of 2020. This is now October of 2021, 1 year later. So when you see my drone shots down a little bit later, think about the difference that you're seeing and what happened in just 1 year. So let's jump back to this right now. And in these lots, I decided that that must be a Winslow. So I went back, and as Don did more videos, and this is a shot of his, I started to see it take shape. And this is a drone shot of that area in St. Catherine. And there are the two lots. So I decided that that lot 8 was going to be the one that I wanted. But once the pads started going up, I could tell by looking at some of Don's videos. So if you haven't seen his videos, jump over to his channel and watch them. They're pretty good. And I knew I started driving by, and I found out that I was right. This was a Winslow. And I started taking pictures. It was as it was being built. I watched the guys build it. I went out in the backyard and hung out one night just to make sure I liked it. And even had one of the electricians guys take a picture inside for me when they were actually building it. Because you're not supposed to go inside the houses, right? Right. Now, jump forward a little bit. When you go to buy a house, it's not a matter of, even though it's a pre-built house or whether you're buying a lot. At this point in time, things happen really quickly. So I decided to go out and play golf that day. I literally get up with a couple of friends that I had met, hit the ball off on the first tee, the phone rings, and I'm about ready to make a birdie. It was the closest I'd been to a birdie in a while. And it's Mike on the other end of the phone, and he goes, "Well, Rusty, guess what?" And I'm going, "Oh God, silence." It was like watching a commercial or something like that. And he goes, "You got the house. You better get your butt down here and sign these papers because you got 3 hours to get this done because there's already people in line waiting to get that house." Now, this is a picture of me on closing day. And if you don't know it, when you go to close, they make a big deal. It's a little over the top for me. I'm a little more conservative than that, but it's fun. You go down and somebody's ringing a bell as you're walking down the hallway, and all I could think to myself is, every time they ring that bell, the check must get bigger or something like that. But they walk down and you go through the whole closing, and when you get done with that, it's fun. My agent was in there with me, Mike, and we went through the whole thing, signing all the papers, and then he came back out, and you do a picture thing out in the lobby. And this is the shot of over the map that I was talking about earlier, and they were selling homes so fast that they didn't have enough time to glue the houses down. So when I went down to point towards my house in the picture, I looked at it and I said, "Hey, there's no house here." I said, "Go get your Monopoly pieces, go get me a house, get me some Elmer's glue, and I'm gluing my own house down." And that's why I'm laughing so hard, because they actually did. They went out and got a house. But as you can see, right underneath my finger, there were no homes. And those homes they didn't go up for sale for quite some time. But let me tell you something. This is a picture of Missy. And she was the nicest woman. I couldn't have asked for anybody more to work with, as they called her, a builder. And we went through the whole home, and she showed me all types of things that I needed to know. And then basically she walks out, and there you are standing in the house. Now, it just so happens that I had a big old TV ready to go in there and a card table. And as I started to get set up a little bit, who comes by, and you may recognize these people. Now, as soon as we go through this and I show you them, we'll go through a walk through the house, and I'll explain to you about the model that I got. So you guys might remember from another video, Bob and Liz, whose house is out that way. I can see right in their window. They close in a month.
In a month, September 2nd.
In a month. And they were so kind as you can see, I have nothing in here but a TV. A housewarming gift. Say hi.
Hi.
Well, a lot of people know you out there. So anyway, I can't wait to see their house gets done, and I can't wait to get someplace to sit with my TV. And I'm going to munch on some of this stuff. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Because these homes sit right on the water and they're a view lot, they tend to be upgraded in the interior. So they have upgraded floors, and the countertops and stuff are upgraded, and the way the bathrooms are. So, you have to look at each individual home. Just because they call it a Winslow doesn't mean it's going to look exactly like this, but let's take a walk through. I'll show you two basic models that were in that area. Let's take a look at the picture right now. Like I said, there's a few different models of the Winslow, and just like because it's called a Winslow doesn't mean it's going to be the exact same size. My version, I believe, is called a Winslow 4, which is on the left-hand side now to make it easier to compare the two. I took the one on the right, which is a slightly larger Winslow. Mine's 1826 on the square feet, and the one on the right is 2002 square feet. And it really didn't make that big of a difference to me which one it was. But as you can see, there's a few differences. These are both the two-car garage plus a golf cart. The master bedroom on the one on the right is slightly bigger, and I think some of the bedrooms are a little bigger. And if you look at the dining room, since there's not as much closet space, they put it's like almost a whole room there, just to the right of the kitchen on my model on the left-hand side. And so this is basically it. And also, if you look, I have the bumped up ceiling in my master bedroom. The other one didn't. And that's about it. If you look, some of the bathroom similarities are the same. Anyway, let's, before we jump inside and do a walk around inside, let's take a ride up in the drone and see exactly what the area looks like now. Now, I'm going to show you, first thing here is a shot of what it used to look like a year ago. Now, if you take a look, you'll see that the drone, I put the drone down in the bottom left-hand corner so you can kind of get an idea on that still picture where the drone is taking these shots from. In the top is the Zell Rec Center. There's those pickleball courts and the 3 lakes. And this is all St. Catherine. And there's the Postal Center up there by the pool with the bocce and shuffleboard. And unbelievable that this was all pretty much seems like accomplished in a year. So this was shot just about 1 year later from that still images that Don Wiley took from Gold Wingnut. And just a couple of places left to build out in here. So this, like I said, 1 year later. Now my place, there's the Live Oaks Golf Course, which is now almost ready to be played on, and the Zell is going to open up also. So that is just amazing to me. I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. Let's go ahead and jump back down into the drone, and we'll come down over that lake and then go ahead and go inside the house. Take a look on the right-hand side really quick. That is the other model that's just like mine, except it doesn't have the golf cart garage. It looks a little wider because of the lens. But this is my house, the blue house right here. I'm pretty excited about it. And I must say the 2 reasons I bought this house is, one, because of that it sits on the lake. That's really what I wanted. I mean, I bought the back porch is what I bought, but also that it is close to Zell and the pickleball courts and the championship golf course was a bunch of the reasons. I also didn't want a lot of upkeep, so the bungalow seems to work out really well. Plus, I got my palm tree right in the back, which was pretty exciting. Taking a look at the front yard, you can kind of tell you lose a little porch space in the front with the extra garage there. On some of the other versions on the 2-car, they're separated, but you definitely lose a little bit of porch. I think I'm going to build something out there, but I want to leave it go until the first year of the warranty's up. I really don't want to touch a thing. But speaking of the garage, let's jump inside the garage. As you can see, it started raining just as I started shooting this after doing the drone work. But the garage is definitely got a lot of space, and that becomes kind of important, I think, to a lot of people, and it's a good selling point. Couple of windows in there. The air handler is great having this out in the garage. You need to make sure this whole area is sealed off, but it makes it so that it's really silent inside the house, which I really like. I don't even know when the air conditioner's on barely. The water shut off. Like I said, you'll see the blue tape around here. That's because I leave that on to remind me that there needs to be something done with that for the warranty, maybe not right away. The water irrigation, I paid, I think it was an extra $70 or something like that for a Wi-Fi add-on, which I highly recommend. And then this is the hot water heater, which is actually outside on demand. It is a love-hate relationship, you'll find out with a lot of people, because it takes a while to get the hot water to the back room. But anyway, not a big deal to me. The garage is actually bigger than what it looks like right here. Go Eagles, go Birds. Inside, as you walk in, I call this one of the dead space areas. Nobody's going to live there. Nobody's going to do anything with it. And I don't even have that many coats to hang up. But this is the porch area. And like I said, I think what I'll do is extend the porch area out a little, which will aesthetically bump the front of the house out instead of having just all garage. Just as you walk in is the first bedroom, which is the guest room. Now, kind of the strange thing is the way this is designed is you have the hall closet right here, and then the bedroom. And the bedroom does not really attach to a bathroom, which is not a big deal to me. But it's a smaller bedroom. The closet in here is actually a pretty good sized closet. It's pretty deep. Get the light back here. So I had to use one of mine. I don't have any lights in the room yet, but it's pretty good closet. It's kind of deep, which was kind of a nice surprise when I opened it up for the first time. But if you look over the chest of drawers that's over there, that is actually an entertainment center for a bedroom. And the woman at the furniture store kind of told me about that. She goes, you can get this. It makes a nice little chest of drawers and it doesn't take up most of the room. There's a ghost knock on my bags over, but there are my washer and dryer, which I love. They're hooked up to the Wi-Fi. They kind of tell me when things are done. And the washer actually talks to the dryer and tells it what kind of clothes it had to set the dryer up for it. Now, I haven't done it yet, but if you notice, there is Wi-Fi and Alexa all through the house. I'll get some cabinets and stuff in there. This is the closet / everything room. You can fit a lot of food in here. Obviously, I have some alcohol, cookbooks. I just don't have any food yet. And this is the Ecobee, which is my thermostat. That's also hooked up to the Wi-Fi, so I have an app on my phone. I can control that while I'm away. And also raise and lower it, so when I'm coming home and I know I'm going to be home in an hour, I can lower the temperature to sleep at night. The stools down below, a lot of people ask me that. I got those on Amazon. I will put as many Amazon links as I can down below, and I'll start doing that on the different videos. And the backsplash I like. It's kind of a nice backsplash, goes with the gray. And these homes are gas. I will put the link in for the knife holder there, which is magnetic. Like I said, it is a gas house. Since we're down south, most of the homes are gas. And I think I have, one steak in there and some ice. That's about it. I promise I will grow up and get things eventually. And my espresso machine and coffee grinder, dishwasher. Took a little bit to learn how to use the dishwasher with the little start and go buttons up top. And my drying mat, which that sucker I absolutely love. And my soap dispenser, which is, I have those in both of my houses I like. There's plenty of room, I found out, for the dining room. This is expandable, has a leaf in it. Pretty good size. And this is another dead space right over here. The where this plant is. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this. I was thinking about maybe a bar, or since I am a bachelor, I even thought about putting a pinball machine right there. So we'll see what happens with that. Temporary stands for the big screen, which is like one of the first things I got. And I finally got my couch, and I'm going to pull the couch back a little bit. And then there's going to be a custom console river table back behind there with some stools underneath it and some other chairs in the room. This is, like I said, this is one reason I bought the house, and that is because of this back porch. I absolutely love it. I have my coffee every morning up here and watch the sunrise. And these doors, when they started building south, they put some really heavy doors in there, and they're really nice doors. The great thing is the way they built this, they slide all the way behind these walls and sort of open this up into another room. Now, I know some people have already talked about putting glass in here, and there's actually glass that you can get that is glass and screen and sliding doors, which makes a whole nother room out there. Personally, right now, for the time being, I don't need another room, so this will be my morning place to get outside, and I love it when they stop hammering the construction across the street. This area, I'm not quite sure what or how I'm going to treat this area over here, but it sure makes for a nice view out there. And there is, I know from a guy that's up north, I like having my palm trees since I lived in California for about 18 years in Southern California. So I'm kind of used to those palm trees. Over here, not a whole lot you can do with this, but what I thought I could do with it, it is a great space for when I have game nights and play cornhole back there. And back into the house, so you can see my tiki torches. It's like one of the first things I bought, tiki torches. Going back into the hallway, this is towards the front of the house, and this is going to be kind of like my den office type of thing. I know somebody actually talked about they were actually going to put a sliding door in there so they could walk right out onto the porch or at that area out there. This closet in there is a little bit smaller, but the room's a good size, and each one of the rooms has a fan, so that kind of makes it nice. The bedrooms in my particular one, are carpeted, and the rest has a ceramic wood finish type flooring. The tile is, I believe this is an upgrade. Like I said, if you have a lot of times the view lots, since they charge more for them, they upgrade. And I am probably going to put a glass type of door in there rather than a curtain. And I actually had towels, believe it or not, for that room. This is the master bedroom. As you can see really quick, if you look up, the ceiling is bumped up. And it's a pretty good sized bedroom, definitely big enough for me. And I'll probably move the plant over and put a reading chair right there. And don't make fun of me because I haven't even gotten the tags off the furniture yet. And this is a strange thing. Living up north, I thought I would need all this space for clothes and everything coming down here. And as you'll see, the walk-in closet here is kind of on the small side. And I have to be honest, one thing I've learned about being down here is I don't use very many clothes. Now, I haven't been here for a year yet, so I don't know. I haven't gone through all the seasons. But it has a nice 2-sink bathroom. For me, plenty of closet space there. But I thought this was going to be so small, but I don't even use the chest of drawers right now. So basically, it hasn't proven to be too small because I just don't use the same amount of closet space, that's for sure. And there's Alexa on the left. So there's a small little hamper here. That works out great. I actually really like that. I use it more than I thought I would. And my scale is hooked up to Wi-Fi. I'll put a link down below. I really like that. Good motivational scale. I had to add on that towel holder because I don't know. It's a thing about the Villages homes. They only have these single little towel holders. So I added that on. It's a suction cup type thing. I got that on Amazon also. Absolutely love the little seat there. I don't sit on it because it's a little too cold, but it's great to dry off on and put your feet up on and so on. Really happy they put a medicine cabinet in there. I've been in a couple of places where there was no medicine cabinet. And that's about it. Yep, it has been a year, and I am still totally amazed at what has happened in a year. A year ago, standing outside in the pouring rain, I had no idea that I'd actually be buying a house. I had no idea that this YouTube channel would be going this long. So first of all, let me say thank you so much to the subscribers that have subscribed, because I'm kind of flabbergasted at how many people have subscribed. Thank you so much. I will continue to try to put out some fun content. Also, thank you so much for hitting that little subscriber button. I want to thank Don for allowing me to use those shots that I had at the very beginning, because I think it's really fun to see exactly how much has changed in a year from when I first started this and when I first started looking at places. It's just absolutely amazing. And with that said, I also, I want to say something. Me personally, everybody's got their own thing, but if you really look at what has transpired over the years in the Villages, it is pretty amazing, and I got to give kudos to the developers and the family that have, as they say, continued the dream. And I said in the very beginning that I hope someday I get to meet them, because I admire people that have done things like this in their life, and continuing the dream, I think, is pretty amazing. Absolutely. And I get to take advantage of it, which is even better. But I will say again, I got nothing to do with the Villages. I'm just somebody along for the ride, that's for sure. So thank you so much to Don. Thank you so much to the subscribers. Thank you so much for the fun people that I've met down there, the friends that I've met. And thank you for the folks stopping me on the street. It has been a great, wonderful 1-year ride, and I can't wait to continue and see you guys either down in the Villages or see you back here on YouTube. Thanks again. See you later.